All right, hi. I'm gonna sneak in here real quick before the episode starts. This isn't ASMR, even though it started that way. Just gonna let you know, we recorded a great episode with our friend Maya Samaha, and we had some audio fuck-ups.
Yikes.
In that, really, all the audio was fine, and then I started editing it, and the last 15 minutes of your mic, Chris,
What?
morphed for some reason into some completely unrelated audio, and I went through every backup file. I went through every original file. I looked into temp files. I looked everywhere. And the audio that we recorded to your mic is gone and has been replaced with this.
All right, we did it. All right, we did it. All right, we did it. All right, we did it.
For 16 minutes.
Oh my God.
Just me saying, all right, we did it. Over and over again. And the original file that absolutely was there. What happened is while we were recording, we heard a cable noise.
Yep.
And when I went into the audio, that cable noise was there. And I was like, hey, let me try to fix it. And when I tried to fix it, the file disappeared and turned into that loop. So we thought this episode was too fun, too cool, too good to just like dump. The majority of it's perfectly fine. We're, I think, 35 minutes of it. Pristine. The best audio quality
you've never
ever
heard a podcast episode sound so good.
Oh, it's so good, man. But that, yeah, I haven't edited it yet, so I don't want to say the wrong thing here. But very likely what I'm going to do is keep those first 35 minutes or so perfectly normal, and then just kind of look through those last 10 minutes. And because mine and Maya's mics are perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And let's see how much important stuff you say.
And I'm going to be honest. I mean, you say it insultingly, but of the three of us, if you had to pick one mic to go out in that episode, especially towards the end, mine is the right choice because I really did not contribute very much towards the end of that episode.
All right, so listen to the end, because who knows?
Who knows?
Let's see what I end up doing in the end. It might be something completely different and exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, stick around. This episode was so much fun.
So much fun.
Okay, we'll get right to it. Enjoy Maya Samaha. No, the episode.
Do. That's my impression of the opening. It's not good.
I like it.
I'm tone deaf.
Hello, and welcome to HowDoWeHuman, the podcast where we overanalyze all of the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm Evan.
And I'm Chris.
Cox and Benning.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about my and probably Chris's feeling awkward about being photographed, but let's actually consult a professional for once.
For once.
And
never again.
Pro. Maya Samaha?
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good today.
Thanks for coming. You're our second ever guest. We're very excited to have you here.
I'm honored.
You are a model.
I am.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Do you want to just talk a little bit real quick about like how'd you get into that?
Yeah. So when I was younger, a lot of people were just like, "Are you a model? Are you a model? Are you a model?" And I'm like, "Well, shit, I guess I should be." So I got into it, and then I'm from Spokane, which is like a smaller town in Washington, and then I moved to Seattle. Started independently modeling there, which means I don't have an agency out there. I just did everything on my own, and it went really well.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I know I want to move to LA. I've always wanted to move to LA. So 5 months ago, I moved here, and now I got signed. So now I feel better about saying I'm a model because,
Hell
you
yeah.
know, before I was like, I'm just, you know, I mean, I was doing it, but now it's like, okay, it's official.
It's the tough
like,
thing
I'm a
about
fucking
doing
model. This is cool.
Yeah.
any sort of contracting work like that. It feels, even though you're doing it, and it can, even if it's 100% of the money you're making, it feels like, well, I can't say I'm that. It's not official.
It just felt weird saying it. It's like, I'm a model, you know, but here I'm like, yeah, I'm a model. So.
So cool.
Yeah.
And we worked together once upon a time. We met in Seattle, and now just both happen to have moved to LA within the last few years.
Cheers. Yeah.
It's all come together. So let's talk real quick. Let's go over some weird, some awkward stuff. Let's go over some stuff that happened this week.
Oh, let's do it.
Maya, do you have a story you wanted to share with us?
Yeah. This is actually something I'm doing today.
Awesome. Current.
So yeah, it's really crazy. About 4 days ago, I'm now starting to go into commercial work.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to act, but I've always done modeling. I've never done acting, and now I'm in LA, and I'm like, okay, let's do everything.
Yeah.
So my agent emailed me and was like, you know, sent me this call sheet for this commercial, and by my name it said, must be able to sing. And I can't sing. Like, I cannot sing. I know for certain I can't sing.
The word must is intimidating.
Yes, it was in all caps. Must be able to sing. And I was like,
Okay.
I literally emailed her and I was like, Jasmine, what the fuck? I can't sing. Like, you have to cancel this. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. No worries. I'll cancel it. She didn't cancel it. And they called me and they said, hey, are you coming? And I was like, no, I can't sing. I will not be coming.
Talk about this.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. You're not going to, you probably won't even have to sing. Just come.
What?
It'll be great. I was like, okay, well, like, what is this? And it's for Facebook. So
Okay.
I was, and you know, the money was decent. So
Totally.
I was like, okay, I mean, screw it. I'll just go. If I don't have to sing, then yeah, I'll go. Maybe they just want me in the background or something. So I go and they were like, yeah, you have to sing. And I was like, I've been lied to.
Tricked you.
Yeah, they tricked me. They totally tricked me. And I even
Welcome
talked to
to
the
LA.
guy who was there. I was like, did I talk to you on the phone? Did you tell me that I wasn't going to be singing today? Am I going to be singing today? Like, I called him out and he was like, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. And it's also this song. I don't remember who sings it, but it's like, Walking in Memphis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. Is that
Mark
Cohn?
Mark
Yeah.
Cohen, I think.
I've never really heard that song. It's not my type of song. So
That's even worse.
And they're like, you need to memorize this song. And I was like, oh my God, I should not have come. Long story short, I end up going in there and singing it, bursting into laughter. Like, I just couldn't get through it. And then the guy who was recording the casting was like, you can do this. Take a deep breath. Like, he just like, I don't even know. He just like, I found my inner peace with him or
Centered
something.
you.
And I did it. And then I got it.
Wow.
And now I'm going to a fitting today.
That's so cool.
But also in my head, I'm like, fuck, I don't want to tell anyone about this because I don't want people to hear me sing.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the sound of my voice.
Nobody likes the sound of their voice.
Right. So that's my awkward story today. But I just couldn't believe it. I was like,
That's amazing.
what is life right
What a
now?
bizarre song for something Facebook related.
I know. I was like, where are they going with this? Like,
Yeah.
this is going to be awful.
Is it just, we don't have to dig too deep into what the ad is, but is it just you singing or is it like a group of people singing together?
I think it's multiple people.
Okay.
I think they're having, like, it's like a montage or something.
Yeah, okay, I see.
I'm going to be in an Italian deli.
Sweet.
That's like I'm the Italian deli girl.
Just like Memphis.
I
Italian delis.
I'm like, well, this makes no sense. But I'm going to secure the bag and get that money.
Yeah.
So.
When
absolutely.
Facebook comes knocking. Make it happen.
Right.
Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I don't have a very exciting story. Last time that we recorded, I wore that banana shirt.
Yes.
And
Great shirt.
yeah, it was a purple shirt with a bunch of little bananas on it. And I bought it as like a half joke because I was like, this is just kind of a funny shirt to like be a person wearing. And right after we recorded, I think because we talked so much about pizza in that episode, I was like, I have to go out and buy pizza.
Yes.
And I went out in public in that shirt, and I immediately did not feel comfortable. I did not have the confidence to wear that shirt in public.
Oh no.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with that shirt now.
You thought you were the guy, thought you could handle a banana shirt, and
I was wrong. I mean, around people that I know and the people who can like recognize that it's kind of a funny thing to be wearing, it's fine. But around complete strangers, it is a nightmare.
Vulnerable.
Yeah, exactly. Vulnerable is the exact right word.
I've always, like, I'm wearing a plain shirt right now, and I've kind of always, I don't wear shirts with stuff on them for that reason.
I used to be that way for a long time.
Super vulnerable.
It's a commitment.
It is.
Yeah.
That's saying, like, this is my sense of humor, and what do you think?
Or I really love bananas.
Yeah.
Or I love bananas.
Big potassium
Isn't
fan.
it? Hey, bananas are good. I used
Sure.
to not like bananas. I come around to them. It's a good snack.
Evan, what about you? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing so good. I'd also mention, this is the first time we've ever recorded in your apartment.
Yeah, switching it up.
I am not wearing slippers today, which is... I don't know, if I sound different, it's because my feet are less comfortable than normal. And deal with it, because we're trying things. I had a situation come up recently. I'm getting ready for a wedding, going to North Carolina at the end of June.
Wait, your wedding or someone
No,
else?
not my wedding.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations anyway, though. You
Either
got
way,
invited.
congrats. Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to North Carolina. I'm very excited about it. They're two very close friends of mine. But I'm a groomsman, and so I had to go to the old men's warehouse.
Yeah, you're gonna like the way you look. Did you?
That's what I've been told.
They guarantee it.
It's a guarantee, and I'm ready to throw that back in their face if this comes back and I don't like the way I look. Problems. So I go in, and I've never fully gone through the like getting fitted for a suit because I'm a slob. And I wear unfitting suits places, or I just do my best. But the guy who was helping me out, he takes all my information, measures me from all angles, and writes everything down on the checklist, asks me to fill in my name and address and stuff like that so they can ship it to me. And I write my name. My name is Evan Cox. And later in the fitting, he's having me try some stuff on, and he goes, it was Evan Fox, right? And I said, yep. And I do that a lot of just like, I don't want to just be like, oh no, it's actually this. Like, I don't know why that it is my name. I should correct people.
Yeah.
But I
Fox
assume
is nice too, though.
Evan Fox
Yeah.
has a good ring to it.
It does have a
It's
good ring to
it.
Foxy. But I expected that to just be like, okay, this is a conversational thing. He's just trying to remember my name as a salesperson.
Yeah.
But it came back, and he's writing and typing information in, and he goes, Evan Fox, right? And I go, yep.
Yeah.
And I just
You
kept
got
going
it.
with it, and I never told him. And the address is correct, so I'm like, it'll get to me. But I don't know if that's a confidence thing. 80% confidence
It must
I'm
be.
lacking.
I went to a wedding in November, and one of my college professors was there, and he recognized like my face, but he called me Ryan, and
Shit.
I just let him do it. I was like, I guess I'm Ryan tonight.
Feeling like a Ryan tonight. So that's that. Why don't we get into what we're here for?
Yeah.
Let's get into this. We're going to talk about being photographed. I feel uncomfortable being photographed to certain degrees. I would assume, Maya, you're relatively comfortable being photographed?
I am now, yeah.
Okay, but not always.
No. Oh. I actually hated it when I was little.
Okay.
Half of the pictures of me when I was like, I don't know, from 4 to 7, it's me with like a really angry face because I would always be like, no! My mom was like, you hated your picture getting taken. Like, I don't know what happened. And now things are different, but
I don't think anger has ever been my response. I'm just making angry faces. I like that move, though, and I think I'm going to start because I definitely have, when I'm not, even a small smile on my face is hard to notice. I think people think I'm angry more often than I am.
Yeah, I have that problem too, I think. The resting bitch face.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's my life. But my instinct has always been, it's weird. My instinct is to be like silly and just make a silly face or a silly pose. But then I get those pictures back or they get posted on Facebook and I'm like, I look terrible. But anytime I just smile for a photo, I'm like, I'm very photogenic. I should do it more often, but I can't. My instant reaction if someone just lifts a phone to me is to just go like, no. And yet, at a wedding or something like that, if professional photos are being taken and we take a series of them and then they go, all right, everyone, this is the silly picture. I refuse.
Yeah.
I will not be silly in that picture.
That's a stressful command to
Be
hear.
silly.
It's like, let's do a funny one. I can't do it.
What is that, a funny
I don't know what that
face?
means.
Be funny? I've never been funny.
Like that could mean so many things.
Yeah.
It means so many things.
I think for the most part, most people don't like the way they look in photos.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like it's a universal thing where people, first of all, you look different in person than you do in a photograph, like no matter what.
Yeah.
But there's also like an actual technique to it. You know, it's not just like models look good in every photo. Like that's not actually a thing. Like there's a whole uncomfortable like way to go about it where you're completely uncomfortable, but you have to like look comfortable.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that. Is it like kind of a headspace you can go into where you're just like...
You have to understand, first of all, you have to spend a lot of time in the mirror, which is also why I feel like a lot of men don't feel like super comfortable in front of a camera because I feel like for the most part, in general statement, like women spend a shit ton of time in front of the mirror.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we see a lot. And we know our good sides, we know our bad sides, and we know like our angles.
Right.
Angles is a huge part of it, you know? And it feels so weird.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Especially like being on set and watching other models, you start to just sitting back and watching them, you're like, this is a weird job. Like if you think about it, we're getting paid to like be uncomfortable for long periods of time.
Yeah.
But make it look comfortable.
But looks so comfortable.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
It is its own form of acting.
It is.
think.
Yeah.
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 So then in like a casual setting, when like you're at like a party or something and somebody just has their camera out, do you go to that same like
Oh yeah.
model? Okay.
Every time a camera is in front of me, there's a couple things I think about. Shoulders back, chin up. You don't want to have the double chin,
Okay.
but you also don't want to have like up your nostrils.
Gotcha.
And then you want to elongate your legs. So usually that means like you want to be aware of every single part of your body.
Oh, that's so hard.
It's hard. Yeah.
This is already too much.
Like if someone just snapped a picture of me right now and I was like this, it's not going to look good. I have to be aware of my eyeballs. I have to be aware of my cheeks. I have to be aware of everything. My mouth, there's like mouth techniques. Like they always say when you are getting your photograph taken, depending on what you're going for, you want to rest your mouth and like keep it slightly open, but you don't want to be like, you want to be like,
Okay.
do you see the difference?
I
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I think I'm column A in most photos.
Yeah.
Just kind of slack jaw.
Yeah.
Like,
Just kind of,
But like usually the best thing that somebody told me was if you are uncomfortable, like aside from being a model,
Yeah.
if you are uncomfortable, you will look uncomfortable.
Okay.
So whatever
That makes sense.
So whatever you're doing, if you're like super like caught off guard and uncomfortable or like nervous, it's going to read that way. So you have to like namaste it out and really like try. And it's hard. It's harder than people think.
What on a similar level, and this an episode we will do eventually, what do you do with your hands?
Right.
What in terms of like having your photo taken, what do you do with your hands?
I still don't know. Like, to be honest.
The universe's great mystery.
Yeah. I love when I'm modeling and there's pockets.
That's great.
yeah.
So like half the time there's no pockets,
Yeah.
which is just so frustrating. And then you're like, what do I do with my hands? You know,
Two
it's nice to
thumbs
have
up.
something.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
Like maybe, yeah, I guess I see a lot of like modeling photos that'll involve props. You're just holding an old school phone for some reason.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
Just give someone something to do with their hands.
Was there ever a photo that you saw of yourself and you're like, damn, I look good?
Yes.
What was that like whole scenario?
Honestly, like I said earlier, it's honestly, if I'm a relatively good-looking guy, I think. I'm okay. If I actually just smile naturally, kind of what you were saying, if I'm not in my head, if I'm not thinking about it, and I just have a natural... If I show my teeth,
Yeah.
a natural teeth-showing smile, I look relatively good in photos. That's 1% of the time I'm able to accomplish that.
That's a good thing to know, though.
But I try
know?
to be aware of it. Like, okay, I've gotten better over the years because, smiling without showing my teeth was the standard for a long time. And I've just come to realize, like, that's not a good look on me.
No.
It's a weird look.
Yep.
I've got pretty okay teeth. I can show these pearly whites off in a photo.
What about you?
I feel like it's kind of the same thing where if I have just like a genuine smile, I look a lot better in photos. But anytime that there's a camera, I feel like I've got maybe 2 things that I'll leap to before genuine smile. And I'll either do like a sarcastic smile, I guess, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, there's a photo out, I guess I better smile. And I'm unaware that I'm doing it until after the photo's been taken. And then I'm like, but I can't be like, can we just take this casual photo one more time?
No, you can,
one
though.
more?
And that's also the difference.
Yeah,
is when
that's
someone
fair.
takes a photo of me, I'm like, okay, just click like 50 times.
Yeah.
Take 5,000.
Easily.
Because everyone, like people on Instagram, they're like,
Sure.
you're so photogenic. And I'm like, no, there's 12,000 photos in my phone. My storage is full at all times, and I pick one of those photos.
Yeah.
I
pick
do a
one.
lot of taking photos of people at work, and it's genuinely I will take hundreds of photos
Sure.
Yeah.
and use one.
So rarely do you take one photo and you're like, that's it.
That's the one.
You know?
Going home.
Yeah.
Cash my paycheck.
Throw in the towel.
Right.
One thing of taking photos at work, a tough thing I've run into is because you take a photo, I gotta do some Photoshop stuff, I gotta do some detailing to it, process the photos. Everybody, like you were saying, everybody has those things they don't like about themselves, either an angle, a side of them, or just a feature of their face. It is so hard to process photos without that information, but it's so uncomfortable to be like, hey, what don't you like about yourself?
Yeah.
It's hard. I feel like a lot of people... It's interesting because I feel like the things that I don't like about my face are the things that other people like.
Oh.
Like, for me, I have this beak, I call it. I'm Lebanese, and I have a very Lebanese nose. Both my parents have, like, bigger, prominent noses. And, growing up, I always would take... I always would take my selfies. That just sounds stupid. Anytime I would take a selfie or anything, or I would never show the length of it. I would want it to look more like a Caucasian little button nose,
Right?
Because I was like, I don't like this part of me because it's so big. And then as I'm getting more advanced in my career with modeling, people are like, we need to see your nose, like turn to the side. We want to see your profile. And I'm like, but why? It's just like an insecurity thing, I think.
It's a tough thing to come to, and you have a great nose.
Thank you.
But it is a tough thing. I, as a person with a lazy eye,
I'm sure you can relate.
Oh, I hated it for so much of my life, and always thought like, okay, at some point I'll do like a surgical thing and just get it straightened out. And at this point, I'm like, why? Well, I'm 30 now. Like, what am I going to do? Suddenly look different? That would feel like a weird move for me. But I've got a theory. Like when you look at certain models or actors that people are just kind of obsessed with to an odd degree, they're not perfectly symmetrical.
No,
like most
nobody is.
People that we hold as like standards of gorgeous, wonderful beauty, male and female, there's something different. There's something slightly askew, and people are attracted to that. I feel like a lot of this podcast is me going like, guys, I'm attractive. I don't know how that happened.
It was really nice of you to wait 9 episodes before you got into it, though.
Well, people can't see me on a podcast. I need to let them know. Oh, I hate myself. The worst.
How do you handle being in a photo and... Because it's, I mean, at least from what Evan and I have said, feel like we look the best in a genuine smile, but maybe in modeling you're like not supposed to smile for whatever shot they want. How do you do that?
How do you do it? I don't know. It's actually interesting because I don't smile in photos a lot. Like I'm the opposite, where I feel like being more like serious and sexy and dramatic is like kind of been my thing.
Yeah.
And I'm finding in modeling now, it's like the opposite of what I feel. Like everyone's like, Maya, you have the best smile. Like yesterday I shot with Nike and they were like,
yeah,
we need you to smile. We love your teeth. And I'm like, okay, so everything I think about myself is wrong and I have to unlearn these things that like they don't want sexy. They want happy and playful and smiley. But what was your question? Like, how do you...
Yeah, well, because, like, all right, it was a question mostly to segue into my own story. But,
Tell me.
Yeah, because
a little self-serving.
Yeah. But so I remember in elementary school, like the cool... Somewhere around, like, between like 3rd and 5th grade, let's call it 4th grade, somewhere around there, I remember distinctly like hearing that like, oh, it's cool if you don't smile in photos. Like that's the cool thing to do. And so I distinctly remember being part of this group that we like all had to get our photos taken for like, I don't know, it's probably like, look how these are the kids that read a lot of books or something like that.
Something prestigious.
Something very cool. But it was a big group photo and I was like, I'm going to be the cool kid and not smile. And the photographer repeatedly was like, okay, everybody needs to smile. And I refused to do it. And then I saw that photo and I did not look cool. So,
oh no. Did you look mad or like...
Yeah, I did.
Upset?
Yeah, like I was being held there against my will or something.
I mean...
So how can you help me go back and fix that problem?
I mean, to be honest, you need to watch America's Next Top Model and you need to listen to everything Tyra Banks says.
Smize?
Yes. Okay, so you know.
I've heard, I hadn't heard it then, but now I'm aware.
Honestly, watching America's Next Top Model and like Tyra Banks has been, I'm a huge fan of hers and everything was so helpful. You know, she'd be like, trashy, but make it fashion. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, like everything she says just makes sense. And she has some really helpful tips. And the smizing thing, that's every model has to have that down for sure. You have to give it to them with your eyes, more or less with your face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't think. Like to me, I think because like when you smile, your eyes kind of squint. So I'm just like, is this smizing? Just squinting and
at the
looking
camera.
mad. But no, because I've watched a decent amount of America's Next Top Model. Very entertaining show, and I see people do it, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, their eyes look like they're smiling, but they're not.
Yeah.
It's magic.
It's just like having that like fire behind your eyes.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're staring into someone's soul type of thing, you know? And then you can do whatever you want with your face, you know?
That's so cool.
And, yeah. I'm still figuring it all out.
That's great. Now that we've kind of rolled back in time a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about like school photographs, like being photographed, school picture day.
Oh man.
Shit like that. How do we all feel about school picture day?
Not great.
Nobody's favorite?
I didn't mind it as much.
You rocked your banana shirt.
Yeah, hell
everybody
yeah.
loved you. And you looked mad and cool.
I guess the thing that stressed me out about school picture day was more like my parents being like, you have to wear this and we got to make sure your hair is good. But the actual photo taking on school picture day, I had no problem with. Because I think it's like we talked about in another episode where I just am very good at following instructions. And those are literally just, okay, sit down, turn this way, lift your head up, smile, done. I'm very good at that.
You're a pro.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't mind it.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. They were okay.
Yeah.
Never great.
Yeah. Does anyone
Never
have...
like look back and be like, God, I remember this day and it was a beautiful day. Like it was just like, yeah, I tried to straighten my hair and it flipped out and my bangs were glued to my face and it was okay. Yeah.
Did anyone ever have a school photo they thought that turned out well? That you're like, that was a good picture of me.
I think I've had a couple.
I don't think I have a one.
No.
None leaped to my mind. They were all serviceable. That's how I would describe them.
I'm kind of doing it right now because I set my mic up too low, but I used to be very hunchy, and all of my school photos, I had like long wavy hair, and all of my photos I just kind of hunched over and like half smiled. Like,
That's where the shoulders back thing comes in. It's so clutch.
Yeah.
I've had friends where, like me and my two best girlfriends, we went to Mexico together. And of course, when I go somewhere that's beautiful, I make my friends be my like Instagram boyfriend. I'm like, you have to take photos of me in a bikini next to every palm tree. Like, sorry, this is just what it comes with. Like my friendship.
this is your job now.
Yes. And so I'm like taking all these photos and then I'm like, okay, now your guys' turn. And they're like, no, we like hate ourselves in photos. Like, no. And I'm like, you look amazing right now. And they're like, no, like we don't want to do this. And I like gave them a rundown of like, I was like, okay. So like back to what you said about how someone was like, turn this way, put your chin this way, shoulders back, angle your body this way. That's honestly for like what I have figured out works best is the director, the person with the camera.
Yeah.
That's honestly the most helpful tool for a model to, or anyone to like get an amazing shot. Mm-hmm. I shot for the first time with Nike in Seattle, and this photographer blew my mind. I was holding this basketball above my head and he was like, move it an inch to the left, put your chin a quarter this way, eyes right here, put your torso this way, a little bit this way, and then boom, he shot it. And it was like the most amazing shot I've ever had. And I was like, if I had that for every time someone was taking my photo, like, it would be magic because they can see you and you can't see you. Which is why people don't look good in photos, is because we can't see what we look like.
Yeah,
that's
so like not to bring everything back to improv, but it's a similar. It's kind of a stress where you're like, I do want to get better at this, but I need a coach. There needs to be someone to watch me fuck up to tell me like, oh no, actually just do it this way, this just a little bit. Like it's hard to convince yourself to just go out there and let someone else fully contort you, I guess.
Yeah. It
and
works
trust
though.
them.
And it's really cool.
But like as myself as I guess I do it at work, but a pretty amateur photographer, like I have friends who are photographers and it's like we have the same equipment. We have the same everything. Why? Like I've seen behind the scenes photos of them taking pictures. And I was like, I don't know what it is. There's a special skill in being able to, I don't even know, see it. Just see it in your head and talk to people and get exactly what's in your head. It's fascinating to me. I wish I could do it, but I can't.
No, you can. That's the thing is you can.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, when we were in Mexico, I told them these standard things. I was like, open your mouth a little bit, put your shoulders back. When you're standing forward, angle your body this way so your waist looks, so you get those angles, like know your body, and then elongate your leg. And we were laughing so hard because every shot that we took of them moving forward, they were like, yes, like, okay, I get it. And so every time now we take photos, even if it's like a silly, like drunk night, they're like, elongate your legs. And they're just like totally into it. But it definitely helped. And I think they understood now, like, that it's not just like, oh, pretty people look good in photos. That's not how it is. It's like, you have to try, So you can do it, and you can do it.
Yeah.
Just spend some time in the mirror and work your angles.
We'll work
Listen
our
to Tyra
angles
Banks.
later. Yeah, I mean, really, vaguely talked about getting some photos done for this, just to like put some stuff on the Instagram.
We could do like a before and after. Like,
Yeah.
we'll take photos of you, and then I'll give you some tips, and then we'll do the after.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you'll see it, and then you'll be like, oh shit, I look good.
Look at me go.
Yeah.
I'm smizing.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I kind of wish we had already had those photos taken, and then we could show them to you right now, and you could tell us how we did. But we didn't.
Nope. What do you think makes the best Instagram photo? Like, what is there a key to success?
For me, I think my followers get bored of me trying to be hot all the time. And because I think that there's also like a transparency like on my stories where you see that I'm like a complete crazy goofball, and you know, it's not just being hot all the time. So I think if I have a photo where I'm not trying to be sexy and I'm just being ridiculous or doing something that I would actually be doing that is just crazy, I think they respond better to that because it, you know, it's like a transparency thing. Transparency.
That's it. Now that you say that, I've seen that a lot where the wall will be just mostly like very pristine and perfect, and then their stories will just be like, oh no, just going crazy.
Yeah.
Just being goofy.
Yeah.
Oh, Instagram.
Instagram's a crazy place.
It is a crazy place. It's part of my job now.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Very helpful tool.
That is interesting.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, with social media now, as a model, like I guess the job used to be kind of different in that now.
Yeah.
Not only are you just having pictures taken, you're also just in charge of this feed of photos.
You are like in charge of your own business, which is you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
You're a business owner.
I am a business.
You are a business.
Yeah.
How are taxes?
I actually did them for the first time this year, and it was really scary initially.
really
and then I wrote everything off, and I was like, okay, this is shitty, but I can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, my girlfriend's a contractor. It's a lot of that. Like, but I bought all this equipment and I did all this traveling.
The cool thing about being a model is everything you do can be written off.
Yeah.
Like, I buy this juice that nourishes my body that is in front of a camera. I'm writing off this juice.
Yes.
Wow.
You know?
This is like a computer mouse to me. It's just required for the job.
Every time I go out to eat is a business meeting. I hustle every day. I'm networking with you guys right now.
Boom.
I'm going to write off everything. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah.
Keep all the receipts.
Yes. Everything.
I'm glad we could hit on taxes in this episode. I was worried we wouldn't get there. But we, on this podcast, we get there. We go there.
Yeah. You thought we weren't going to talk about taxes? We went there.
I shouldn't be here for this episode.
Let's talk a little bit about where we did used to work together back in Seattle, because I have to mention Seattle and Walgreens in every episode. Every episode.
Every time I go into a Walgreens, I feel the need to tell them, I've been here before.
I always feel that need.
Like, I used to work here.
It feels like, like I'm a part of a club. Like, don't worry, I'm not a normal customer. I've been there before. I have one of these polos somewhere.
I know what IC3 means.
I do know what IC3 means. I know what your codes are. But at Walgreens, I used to work in the photo department, and part of working in the photo department is taking people's passport photos. And the tough thing with passport photos is it's the exact opposite of everything you've just said. Everyone comes in going, I know my angles, I know how I look good. And it's like, I'm sorry, but the photo really just needs to be you staring straight into the camera, and the government kind of prefers you don't smile. And people get really upset about that.
I didn't know that. They don't want you to smile?
That you can get away with it, but it's getting away with it. They prefer it if you don't. I think they consider a smile kind of making a face in a sense. Like, they wouldn't let you stick out your tongue or something like that. They just want to see what you look like, so for identification purposes.
I see.
So generally, I don't have a passport. I've never had a passport before.
What?
Isn't that wacky?
That is wacky.
You've never left this country?
I've left the country back when Canada was fair game, but without a passport. I've been there a couple of times, but other than that, no. I live so close to Mexico. Never done it.
Wow.
Isn't that sad?
That is sad. You need to do that.
Where do I go?
Literally anywhere. Get out of here.
Get out. I think what's happened is I'm really enjoying traveling around the United States and realizing, because I flew once to Anaheim, Disneyland, hello, when I was a kid. And then past that, I never flew again until I was 25, 26 to go to Vegas. And yeah, I just haven't been a lot of places. So in these past, I don't know, 6 or 7 years of my life, I've really started just seeing the rest of the United States. And I feel like I have so much more to go. Then I'm like, well, I can't go to Iceland right now.
I'm like complete opposite. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't been to New York. I haven't been to New Orleans.
Those are two of my favorite
I haven't
places.
been to Miami. Yeah, I haven't traveled in the U.S. My family lives out of the U.S. So if I ever travel, if I'm going to spend money and travel, I'm going to go to.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But that's good that you're traveling here at least.
yeah, there's a lot to see.
It's true.
So I would assume you do currently have a passport?
I do.
Okay.
I do have a passport. Not a great photo. It was taken at Costco.
That's where you do it.
When I
Or
was-
Walgreens.
Yeah.
But I feel bad. I took so many shitty pictures of people. It's like, it's having a job where your customer base is just, they're going to not like your work. And it's not your fault. I mean, it kind of is, because you're enforcing what the government tells you.
At least you're not like working at the DMV doing like license photos. That's a whole different.
I can't imagine. That's a whole nother topic about having photos taken. Guys, I love my current driver's license
too.
photo, and it's the first time I've ever felt that way.
Is it because they changed the color? They changed the color ring of it.
do you have a legally? Do you have a California license? Or
No, I have a Washington.
you
one.
still have a Washington
Yeah.
license? Did they change the coloring of the license
I look
itself?
super airbrushed. Like I'm
Interesting.
orange, but my skin is glowing
Huh.
because it's so bad. Like it's just very like it's not clear, but it looks beautiful. I'm like, wow.
That's amazing.
I'm orange, but like it's nice. Do
Interesting.
you have a California one?
I do have a California one. I'm pretty cool like that.
Do you like yours?
Mine's okay. It's I should probably get an updated photo because I still have a lot more hair in my current photo.
I had that problem for a long time
Yeah.
also. We're follically challenged
Yeah.
a little bit.
But I mean, for a photo that was taken at the DMV, it's not that bad.
Cool.
It could be a lot worse. I've seen other people's driver's license photos, and mine's not that bad.
Sick.
That's
We're all doing good.
the grade that I usually the curve that I'm on is like,
Yeah.
This isn't that bad.
That's an
I've
A+.
seen worse photos of other people.
It's an A+ at the DMV. It's not that bad. Yeah, I accidentally, this bummed me out so much. So you get your initial driver's permit when you're like, whenever you start driving. I think I was 15, and I looked like a child, as one does at that time. And then I think the next one you get is 21. I believe 21 you're supposed to have, because you get the new license that says you can drink. And so I got my photo updated at 21. And then it comes back around at 25, you have to get your license updated. And they asked me, like, did you want to have another photo taken? And I hated that photo. But I just liked convenience. And in the moment, I just went like, oh, yeah, sure. Without realizing, like, oh, fuck, that means that's another 5 years with this photo I hate. And I just lived with it. And so, yeah, 10 years with the same photo I did not like remotely. And I moved to California, got a California license, and God, I look good.
In Arizona, when you get your 21 and older driver's license, that one's good for like the next 50 years. They're like, don't come back here. Just this is you now until you're like 60 or 70.
I mean, to me, the whole purpose is to be able to identify a person. Like, a person changes a little bit between the years of 15 and 30, or 21 and 60.
Yeah. They're just busy there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer for you.
Never got that vibe out of Arizona. Well, I think we're kind of winding down. I think we're wrapping up. We've talked about photos. What have we learned, though? I think we've learned a lot.
Yeah,
thanks to
much
our
more
professional
than any
Maya.
other episode.
Absolutely. This is the most productive episode we've ever had.
This is a lesson. I'm here to teach you. Okay.
You did a good job.
I almost didn't realize how many lessons we needed.
Yeah,
It's like, I got a pretty good idea. I take photos of other people. And I'm like, no. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. And that would be, I'm going to try. I'm going to put some effort into finding my angles.
Yeah.
And the light. Forgot to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get that good lighting.
Yeah, so really learning to pay attention to all parts of our body, learning our angles. And I think in a roundabout way, we also did learn that it is 80% confidence, which is what we learn at the end of
really
every
what it's
episode.
about. Yeah.
We've found it's the answer to everything.
Yeah.
We built this entire podcast, so we're like, we're going to talk about A, B, C, D. The answer to all of them is, you just really have to be confident,
Yeah.
which we're not.
It's truly what it's about.
Fake it till you make it, I guess. I don't know. I can
Oh, absolutely.
fake confidence.
Yeah.
So we talked about, just,
And you need a good photographer.
yeah, that helps.
Yes.
What you're doing.
Yeah.
That helps. My girlfriend takes good photos. Maybe I'll just get more photos taken.
It's good to have like a partner in crime who can take the photos of you.
Definitely.
And then don't ever be like, okay, thanks. Stop. Look at them. Take notes, and then be like, okay, take 5 more.
That moment terrifies me when I'm taking photos of people and they go like, let me see. I'm like, no. They're fine. 'Cause I take everything personally. 'Cause I'm a petty person.
Or if you want to rock the I look like shit in photos, like that's also a thing. Like if you want to do the double chin in every photo, but you have to like really commit to it.
Yeah.
Or like all your bad angles, you have to like. There's a way to
I think I'm closer to that than the other. I'll get
I'm
there.
excited to take some photos of you guys.
We'll make it happen. Okay, well, I think we did it. I think we learned some things. This has been a very fun episode. Thank you so much for coming by. I appreciate it. Did you have anything you wanted to plug?
My name is Maya Samaha. My Instagram is Maya Mused. MAYAM.
Love it. Good handle.
SED. You can watch my stories. I'm not very pretty on there, but I'm funny, and that's all that matters. And just
Absolutely.
be confident and work your angles and listen to Tyra Banks.
Boom. We're making it happen. Maya, thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Thanks for putting up with our idiocy and teaching us a thing or two.
Yeah.
You've been a great guest. Bye.
Bye.
Actually, you know what? No, not okay, bye.
What?
There's a little bit more.
We're still here?
We're still here.
Where did Maya go?
That is part of what we're going to talk about.
How did we get into my apartment?
And why's my mic fixed? So many questions. Very few answers. So Maya was not kidding when she said, I'm going to take photos of you guys.
No.
I thought that was just kind of part of the bit.
Yeah.
But she actually took photos of us. And you can find them on our Instagram at HowDoWeHuman. We got that handle, baby.
Got that handle.
But she had us, pose the way that we would conceivably normally pose.
Yeah.
And then she gave us modeling tips for us to be able to see what the difference could be.
It's alarming. The difference.
It is alarming. That's the best way to describe it, I think, for sure.
Yeah, it's mostly like just. It's mostly the juxtaposition of those original photos where I'm like, hot damn, I look like a goober. And yeah, she was able to coax some good looks out of us.
Yeah.
Yours in particular came out pretty steamy.
Oh, she gave me a pose that I mean, as we've discussed many times, I'm very good at following instructions.
Yes.
And it was a pose that I was not opposed to.
Hey.
Got him. But it's never a pose I'm ever going to make in any photo following this point.
I think you should make that pose in every photo, no matter the situation.
Oh.
You're in the back of a wedding photo.
And I just turn to the side with my arm cradling my neck, looking away.
It's a good look for you.
Listen, it does look better than I ever would have imagined it would. But yeah, she clearly knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And should we have taken a photo with her to promote that she was on the show? Yes, but we're
yes.
bad at our jobs.
Aside from audio mess ups, we also just messed up.
Yeah.
We're in the process of taking pictures and forgot to take a picture together.
And after she had left, we both turned to each other and said, we should have gotten that photo.
The other thing I wanted to put in there is, like I said before, I haven't hyper edited this. Hyper edit.
You didn't do a bunch of cocaine before you started editing?
By that I mean all that I've edited so far is ruin your audio.
Yeah.
And then I left it alone for a while. But what I did remember hearing is that I kind of talked over her Instagram handle and her plugs, and you should go to and follow her Instagram. It's at God, I'm going to talk over my own. At Maya Mused, MAYAMUSED. Go follow that Instagram.
Congratulations, you've won the spelling bee.
Yay!
Okay, bye.
Okay,
For
bye.
real this time.